Let's solve this linear equation. Now it's linear because this exponent on the x is a 1, so it's linear. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to isolate the x. Right now I've got 5 times x. So what I want to do is I want to undo, right, this is at least what I'm thinking, undo the multiplication. So how do you undo a multiplication? Well, you would use the opposite operation, use division. So I'm going to divide each side by 5. Right? This is the x is multiplied by 5. Divide both sides by 5. So it's going to look like this. 5x over 5 equals 40 over 5. And then the 5 into 5 will go once, and I'm left with x equals 8. Now, we can run a quick check. Should always check, but, I mean, we're supposed to, but we don't always do it. If you put an 8 back into here, what would you get? So I'd have 5 times 8. I'm going to say, is that equal to 40? Well, 5 times 8 is equal to 40. It checks, so now I can actually conclude that x is 8. Now to solve this equation, I want to isolate the x, but what have we got? Well, the x is not isolated. We're subtracting 5 from it. So what I want to do is I want to undo that subtraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So it's going to look like this. X minus 5 plus 5 equals 21 plus 5. Now I'm showing every step here. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. That's not what I wanted to write. X plus 0 equals 21 plus 5 is 26. X plus 0, that's just x. Okay, and then we could check it, but I think I've got it here. X is 26. Now, number 3, I want to isolate that x again, but what have I got? I've got 2 numbers attached to it. The 5 is multiplying it, and then the 11 gets added to that product. So I'm going to use the order of operations in reverse. Now, the order of operations, we know what they do. The order of operations are what? As you look at an expression left to right, you do powers and roots, then you do multiplications, divisions, then you do additions, subtractions. That's how you would simplify an expression. But I'm trying to unsimplify this. I'm trying to disconnect the 5 and the 11. So I'm going to use these operations, but in reverse. So undo any additions, subtractions. All right, so I've got a multiplication and addition. I'm going to undo the addition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 11. Now, let's just do this. I'm not going to write every step here. I'm just going to do this. 11, subtract 11, it goes out. Now I'm left with 5x. So I get 5x equals, now negative 99. If you can do this in your head, that's fine. Minus 11. So I'll get 5x equals negative 99 minus 11 is negative 110. Now, I've got a 5 multiplying, so undo the multiplication with a division. So divide by 5. So if you divide the left side by 5, 5 divided by 5 is 1. The 5 is gone, and you get x equals, here's what I'm doing. I'm doing negative 110 divided by 5. Now, if you can see it, that's great. If you don't, get your calculator out. This is negative divided by positive is negative. And this is a 22. I'm going to claim that's the correct answer. I should check it, but I won't in this case. Number 4, 3x minus 4 equals 14. Let's undo the right order of operations in reverse. Undo that subtraction. So I'm going to add 4. Right, so here's my plan. I'm going to add 4. So I'm just going to do this now. So if I add 4 here, negative 4 plus 4 is 0. That's gone. And 14, add 4, you get 18. So I get 3x equals 18. Now, I have to eliminate the 3. The 3 is multiplying the x. So I'll divide by 3, right? Undo the multiplication. So I'm going to divide by 3. Now if you divide this side by 3, the 3's cancel, and I just get x. Divide this side by 3. 18 divided by 3, that's 6. Now number 5, I want to solve it for y, and I notice I've got y on the left side and the right side. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the y's on one side. So just choose a side, and it doesn't matter which side you choose. The way I go about this is I usually choose the side on which I have more y's to begin with. Now, what I mean is this. On the left side, I got 5 of them. on the right side, I'm down 2. So I've got more on the left. So I'm going to get the y's on the left side. So that's just my choice. Get y on the left side. So to get y's on the left side, we need to get rid of these. Now this is minus 2y, so I'm going to eliminate that. I'm going to add 2y. So add 2y to each side. Now I'm going to write it all out here. I'll get 5y minus 6. Now add that 2y equals 29 minus 2y plus 2y, right? So what I'm doing is I've decided to get rid of these 2y's. So I'm going to add 2y to the left side and the right side. Whatever I do to the left, I have to do to the right. And now what? Well, on the left side, I got 5y plus 2y. That's a 7y minus 6 equals 29, and then minus 2y plus 2y. These are gone. That's why I did it. Equals 29. All right, now I've got a multiplication and a subtraction. So let's get rid of subtraction first. So I'm going to add 6. So just go ahead and do it. I'm going to say what I'm going to do. I'm going to add 6. So if I add 6 over here, negative 6 plus 6 is gone. I get the 7y equals, now add the 6 over here. 29 plus 6 is 35. We're close. Now, I got a multiplication. So undo the multiplication with a division. So I'm going to divide by 7. So divide this side by 7. I get a 1, so I just get y equals, divide this side by 7. 35 minus 7 is 5. Well, here in number 6, we've got m's on both sides. So I'm going to choose a side to get the m's on. And I see I have 4 on the left and only 1 on the right. So I like to get the variables on the side of which I have most already. So I have more on the left than I do on the right. So I'm going to get the m's on the left side. So let's eliminate this m. So it's plus m. So I'm going to subtract m. Right, so if I subtract m from both sides, I'll just do it here. 4m minus m is 3m minus 4 equals negative 28, and then m minus m, the m's gone. Now, I need to eliminate this 3 and the 4. Well, the 4 is connected by subtraction, so I'm going to do that one first. I'm going to do the opposite of what I see here. I'm going to add 4. Right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add 4, so let's just do this. I'll get 3m. Now, minus 4 plus 4 is gone. And I get negative 28 plus 4, negative 24. Now let's divide by 3. So I'll get m is equal to negative 24 divided by 3 is negative 8. Number 7, we've got x's on both sides. Well, the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to distribute this 4 through the x plus 4, getting 4x plus 16 equals 8x plus 16. Now I've got these x's on both sides. I've got 4 on the left, but I've got more on the right, so I'm going to get all the x's on the right. So I'm going to subtract these 4 x's. So my plan is to do this. I'm going to subtract the 4x. If I subtract it from the left side, it's gone, and I get 16 equals 8x minus 4x, so let me just do that. 8x minus 4x is 4x plus 16. Now I need to eliminate the 4 and the 16. The 4 by multiplication, 16 is added, so let's subtract the 16. So if I subtract the 16, here's my plan. Subtract 16 from both sides. 16 minus 16 on the left is a 0 equals 4x, and then 16 minus 16 on the right side is a 0. That's gone. Oh, now you can see this. You can either do this. You can divide both sides by 4. Okay, you could do this. You could divide by 4, getting 0 over 4 equals 4x over 4. 0 equals x. Or, you know this. If you multiply two numbers together and you get 0, right? Multiply two numbers together and you get 0. One of them has to be 0, and it sure isn't the 4. So it's got to be the x. So just looking at this part right here, you can claim that x is 0. Let's start here by multiplying through. Let's distribute that negative 6, or that 6. So I'm going to write 16y. Now, I'm thinking negative 6 times 3y is minus, get it to right here, minus 18y, and then negative 6 times negative 21, negative negative is positive, and this is a 126. But you can do that one in your head, right? 6 times 1 is 6, there's a 6, and then 6 times 2 is a 12. And the whole thing's equal to 116. Now, 16y minus 18y, this will give us 16 minus 18 is negative 2y plus 126 equals 116. Let's subtract that 126, so we'll get negative 2y equals, now 116, right, 116 minus, here's what I'm thinking, okay, 116 minus 126, negative 10, and then let's divide by negative 2. I'll get y equals, now, negative 10 divided by negative 2 is positive 5. This number 9 looks suspiciously simple. After the ones that we've been doing, we end up with this. Well, let's just do it. So all I'm going to do is subtract 4. So the plan is to subtract 4, and I'll get x equals 36. And pretty much the same in number 10, except I'm going to divide by negative 10. That's all there is to do. So if I divide by negative 10 on the left side, I just get z equals, now 50 divided by negative 10. All right, this is what I'm thinking. 50 divided by negative 10, that's in my head. So what do I get? I get negative 5. Number 11, let's start by adding 8. So I'm going to add 8, getting 5x equals 30. And then I'll divide by 5, getting x equals 6.